Alright guys, here we go. So this is the CPP front steering kit. This basically covers from your steering box all the way to your pitman arm. I'm going to take you with me. We're going to go look in the parts graveyard and see if we can come up with our I don't know what it actually is. The pitman arm connector to the framer. Alright, let's go. Alright guys, let's take a little trip around with me. Go to our pile of parts. Let's look for our steering. There it is. That's sweet. We still have it. That's what we need. So we have this stuff. I don't even know if it's going to really matter with all the new stuff, but I'm just going to kind of measure this stuff and make sure we're kind of in the ballpark. We're going to go ahead and hit this with some PB Blaster before we get started. It's pretty rusty. Try to keep some of these new parts from getting too messed up. I don't know what you guys know. My wife hates the smell of PB Blaster. She can smell it from a week away. I spray it in the garages. She's like, did you spray that stuff?
12 seconds later.
I came out all sneaky and quiet and...
She came out because I was squirting PB Blaster. She knew it. She smelled it. Put some more PB Blaster on this. See how fast my wife will come out this time. The other time it was like almost a full 3 minutes. About 10 minutes worth of work and a bunch of grinder work. PB Blaster. Here's what she looks like. Maybe I should have banged on her with the flap on, or too much torque, I guess. I didn't have it set right. Anyway, she's off. So I am going to clean this up and get it painted. So I'm going to take this little arm, get it put in here, and a little trick I learned a long time ago. And this is obviously in a different jug, but this is clean strip etching acid. So I use this all the time. I just put it right back in here. And I'll just find a plastic jug of some sort. This is concrete etching. You can buy the automotive grade, but you're gonna pay a lot more for it. I'm going to show you what that acid does. I just got back from the dentist, and you can see it just takes chunks of that stuff off. It's awesome. I'm gonna pull it out and we'll look at it. That's what it looks like when it comes out. Just like brand new metal. That's awesome. I highly recommend it. Just make sure when you pull it out, you wear gloves because it'll set you on fire. All right guys, we'll put the CPP front end stuff together now. I set the old stuff out here just so we can kind of mimic all the sizes of these, and there probably won't be a line, but we'll make it close. So we're going to start with this inside. That's a reverse. Remember we talked about this. This nut is reversed when it's got the split on it. And I still am talking about it being in reverse, and I'm still putting it on the wrong way. It's too ingrained in your head, I think. I'm just going to set it right next to our old one. We're going to kind of get a size that we want it to be. I'll leave it loose for now. We'll go ahead and I'll try to make this as close as I can to this one. So the next thing we're going to do is we're going to put the sway bar when we do this whole front end. So these are the stock mounts, and that's fine unless you're really low. Then you got to redo these, and we bought the CPPs. They're good for 3 inches and lower, so we can do some live action. One of these days I'll have a lift. Kind of talked about this a little bit. You can see the difference. This is the CPP, designed for 3 inches or lower for your sway bar. We do have the energy suspension bushings for those. We'll get that on. The sway bar's already been wire brushed and powder coated with our expensive powder coating. Anyway, so I just want to show you the difference. And do you guys hate these stupid little stickers as much as I do? Warning, you'll get cancer from this piece of metal. And they never come off. You use the freaking heat gun to get them off. Oh, it drives me nuts. Anyway, so another one of my big complaints, you guys know, is I hate when this doesn't come with the hardware. So went down, picked up some grade 8 hardware. Now we're gonna get these mounted on our sway bar now. So pull these apart, you open these, and as I open them, I'm gonna hit them with the grease. So these things are kind of a pain. You gotta spread them apart pretty far. Get them in there. Oh, it wasn't as much of a pain as I thought it'd be. So we'll get those put back together, and we'll just work our way around and get at least the top 2 in. We might mount those later, but at least these will have us ready to get it mounted to our sway bar mounts we just put in. Work smarter, not harder, right? If you can hear that, but that's my neighbor singing Grand Old Flag to my flag out with their grandkids. Pretty cool. Guys, make sure that's sitting right there first. That was real close. Luckily, it's still wet. I had to edit this a little bit because I wasn't saying nice words. But anyway, these are on here. I had to lift this side up, the jack, to get this side on. It would not go otherwise. I ended up having to pinch this together a little bit to get the bolts in. But it's in there now. I'm going to steal this jack and go to the other side. Whew, that was way harder than it needed to be. Alright guys, we're going to put this idler bracket on here. You can see it's pretty self-explanatory. You got the 2 little nubs right there, I guess. Get our bolts started in here. I use nylocks on this. I started like building cars back in the day with square bodies, and man, the squeaks and the rattles and the stuff used to drive me crazy. So if you notice me using lock washers and nylocks and all this stuff on here, that's why. I cannot stand all those squeaks and rattles. It drives me crazy. And I used to take those old square bodies and I'd go and tighten and tighten. And I swear you'd fix one and another would start the same day. Let's get our steering all set in place. And remember, we sized these about the same as stock. So we should be close. So when you're working on these trucks and you don't remember how you took things off, or you had a blank frame to begin with, LMC trucks, you can go in there and buy parts from them, whatever, but they have schematics and everything on there and how it all goes together. It's a really cool website. It's really useful. Like I said, this thing sits a lot higher than I thought it did. So where I'm going to start is on this pitman arm. Let's see if I can get it in here. That's it's kind of a pain. There we go. I'm going to get my castle nut on there. And that way I know where my starting point is. And it kind of holds it up there for you. Let me get this front on here. I'm not going to tighten anything down yet. I'll get it all in place. And then we'll torque those, not torque them down, tighten them down, get our cotter pins in. We'll make sure everything's right. Talking for a second, so hold my tongue right, get that in there. Once we get our power steering pump in, it connects here at the pitman arm. Hey guys, the last part of our video on installing the power steering kit, as you saw, we did the CPP power steering conversion kit. It came with the pitman arm, basically spindle to spindle for the power steering. I went off eBay, so that's what I did. It's $188, and let's get this out. Yeah, that's what it looks like. So, as you can see on my frame, it's already got the dimple for the power steering. This isn't the conversion that you can do the newer truck conversion, so you don't have to cut this frame. Fits right in. Okay guys, so when I get these, they put this thick paint on here, good, bad, ugly. I'm just gonna go ahead and tap these out. So I know this is 7/16 14 because I checked the size ahead of time. So I just got back from the store. Man, it wastes so much time, it drives me crazy. Anyway, I got 7/16 14 by 1.25 inches. You can look it up, it'll tell you the same thing. I would just double check. I'm gonna run a lock washer and a regular washer. And when you're doing this by yourself, just make sure your bolts are ready to go. Try to do as much research and pass the knowledge on as I can, but they're 70 foot-pounds for the bolts that go into the power steering box. So the next thing you're going to have to torque is the pitman arm, which is about 110 pounds. So we are now going to try to center our pitman arm the best we can. So the best way to do this is count your turns. I'm going to use this Ziploc right here from my starting point and go from all the way left, all the way right, and count how many turns you have. I believe this is quick turn, so it's 4.5 or 5, but anyway, when you do that, you'll know exactly, and then you can go back and get that centered. So right there, we're gonna start. And just be careful of these so you don't mess them up. There's one. Don't be in a big hurry. Mess up your gears. 2, 3, 4.5. So 2.25 turns should put us exactly halfway. So I'm gonna 2.25 turns, and I'm gonna put that pitman arm on there. So, and you get it right there, and then there's, when you look at your pitman arm, which I don't know where mine actually just went, oh there it is. You'll have, hopefully you can see this, you'll have some markers in here, some flat spots that don't have gears. So ultimately those are gonna have to line up too. So we're close, and let's just see where we're at. When you install these, we got that centered, pitman arm went on good. It needed to go a little bit more to lock into those little spots we're talking about, but it lines up perfect. The problem is I put these inner and outer tie rods on here, so it won't go down far enough to get on. So I'm gonna have to take the cotter pin and this bolt off to get it to fit. So just a gee whiz, so you know, and because the sit's so low, it really doesn't want to go on there even jacked up like it is right now. So finally got that stupid pitman arm on, and let me tell you, put that on first before you put this together. That's my suggestion. I ended up having to pull this inner and outer tie rod, and I ended up having to drop the idler arm to be able to move it enough to get it in. Finally got it in, now I'm retightening everything. It was a pain in the butt. So the next thing is you're gonna have to put the bolt on this, because this has a giant lock washer. You can't get enough threads on that until you can press that on a little bit. So I'm gonna press that bolt on to get that pitman arm further on, and then I'll install the lock washer. So what we're gonna do is 15/16 bolt on the pitman arm. So I'm gonna tighten this up, because remember we couldn't get our lock washer on there. So I'm gonna tighten it up at least so I can see the the bolt coming through the nut. Anyway, I just turned the wheels one way and got this thing in there, and I was trying to hold it right there and smash the crap out of my fingers. Time for the big reveal. Do we have steering? I don't know how long it's been since this truck had steering, but I think it's been a while. Lock to lock. All right.